Up next on Arizona Horizon, a report on the social and economic impact of the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley. A new report looks at the economic and social impact of the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley. The study looked at, among other things, the graduation rates and number of families struggling with food insecurity. Joining us now is Marcia Mintz. He's the president and CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley. Good to see you again. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Before we go further, what is the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley?
So Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley is an organization that is in 30 locations throughout Maricopa County and now in Yuma that provides not only after-school programming, but academic support, food insecurity support, sports leagues, character and leadership development for kids from kindergarten through high school.
What kind of programs are offered?
So a variety of programs. I think people think of Boys and Girls Club and they think of playing sports in the gym, but we are much more than that. Besides having a safe place for kids to go after school, it's an opportunity to engage in lots of different programs. As I mentioned, academic success. Every club does Power Hour. What do you do after school? Get your homework done, have a snack, play, engage in something academically enriching. Especially after COVID, we're making sure our kids are really hitting that learning loss gap.
All right, with that in mind, we have an ASU study on the economic and social impact of the Boys and Girls Clubs. This was kind of like, what, a social return on investment kind of a deal here?
It's exactly right. You know, why should people care about Boys and Girls Clubs, either having one in their community or supporting Boys and Girls Clubs? And we're trying to demonstrate, really through data, how important it is to support organizations like Boys and Girls Club so they know that there is a return on your investment. And we're also helping the state, whether it's workers, parents who are workers, the employers in our community, and what is the value of that social return.
And when you talk about its return on investment, I'm seeing every dollar invested delivers $15, more than $15 in benefits?
Yeah, so if you look at it annually, the estimated benefit is over $237 million each year to the state of Arizona. So what that boils down to for our organization is for every dollar you invest, there's a $15.60 return on your investment.
And those are for kids and families here in Maricopa County.
Exactly.
How do you come up with that? How do we figure that out?
So we worked with the Seidman Research Institute, which is part of the W.P. Carey School of Business through ASU, and they take our data, our studies, they even meet with parents and focus groups, and they look at the county data, the state data, to come up with what is the real cost for this? How do we really quantify what our cost is?
And I know one of the things you looked at was high school graduation rates, and talk about, you know, the impact of the Boys and Girls Clubs there, but how that impacts the economy and society in general.
Absolutely. So what we found out is that the teens who go to Boys and Girls Club on average, the estimated graduation rate is about 95%, where it's 6.5% higher than teens who don't go to the Boys and Girls Club. And that is a significant increase in high school graduation rates. But what that does to the student and their families in Arizona is that over their lifetime, that equates to millions of dollars, over $10 million of lifetime potential earnings for them.
Yeah, that's what, over 40 years, economic gain of $10 million here.
Exactly.
So it makes a difference.
Makes a difference. When you graduate high school, you get a better job, you get a better pay, and that helps the Arizona economy as well.
Reduction in teen pregnancies as well.
Absolutely. Reduction in teen pregnancies, use of drugs, underage drinking, all of that really equates to real dollars for our state.
And fewer families struggling with food insecurity. Again, how is that measured, and what are we really talking about here?
So again, we have 20,000 youth that we serve. We're larger than some school districts. Every day at Boys and Girls Clubs, our kids get a hot meal for dinner and a snack. And then in the summer, they get breakfast and lunch. We serve over 800,000 snacks and meals each year. That is almost a $9 million benefit to a reduction in food insecurity for our members.
And it seems to me that Boys and Girls Clubs, I mean, a lot of families rely on those meals and the fact that those kids are being active when you got working families and you got other things going on.
Yeah, so over 90% of our families say having Boys and Girls Clubs enables them to keep their job. So if you are a working parent, you know, you want to make sure you have great childcare, but that value, that estimated value is $166 million to the state of Arizona because our parents can keep their jobs.
Now, I know it sounds like this aligns. There's a Healthy People initiative with the Department of Health Services here, healthy lifestyles, these sorts of things. Did the results, they seem to align with that study, true?
Yeah, I mean, we all know, you know, anecdotally, you have to move, you have to have sports and fitness and just moving, and we're meeting all of those benchmarks that the state has, and in fact superseding them because of our programs.
And career pathway, workforce readiness, those sorts of things measured as well?
Yeah, so we're one of the few organizations that focus on workforce readiness for 16 to 19-year-olds, really making sure they have a pathway upon high school graduation to enter the workforce with the skills they need, and that is going to increase their lifetime earning potentials, over $200,000 for the teens that complete our programs.
The idea of good character and leadership and these things being enhanced by the Boys and Girls Clubs, is that getting out there to families? I mean, again, we think of the boys who roll out a basketball and everyone starts playing. But I mean, is that the other aspects, is that information getting out?
I hope it's getting out, and being here, I hope, helps that. In fact, I would say the sports leagues are probably one of our smallest programs that we have, because our kids have so many different needs today in terms of socialization, academic success, and even behavioral health. So we're focusing on all things. The whole child approach is really our method.
Last question, and obviously the study shows that there is quite a return on investment as far as the clubs are concerned. What's the biggest challenge right now as far as the Boys and Girls Clubs are concerned?
You know, I think all of our kids have suffered after COVID, and we're seeing it from kindergarten all the way through high school, and really making sure our teens know that they have a place to belong to. This is a safe place for them to be, to connect and have human interaction, not only through a screen. And we're going to make sure every kid that comes in our doors has that opportunity.
And last question, now that COVID has kind of subsided a little bit here, also it stays subsided, was there a rush? Did you guys see a rush of kids?
This summer, we had 6,000 kids come through our clubs in 8 weeks.
Oh,
it was insane, but we welcomed them. We wanted to get kids back in person in the clubs. And remember, we're one of the few organizations, we did not close during COVID. We made sure every family had a place to go, especially our healthcare and essential workers.
Well, continued success, Marcia Mintz, Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley. It's good to have you here.
Thank you so much.